You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV for 16 and Pregnant. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's 16 and Pregnant After Show.
Okay, we're here. We're messy, and Isabel said something about the dad on the show being hot, which we'll deal with later. I didn't even know she was going to say that. Anyway, hello, everybody. Are we still, Bing is for doing, right? Ronnie Jr. Media, Bing is for doing, and we're doing another 16 and Pregnant.
You're binging and you're doing.
Bing, bing,
Bing, bing, bing, bing. Yes, we are Bing. See, I can't even say it now.
Oh,
Bing is for doing.
Bing
You
is for
know
doing. We're
that.
doing another episode 16 and Pregnant. This is Devin. And what are those other names up there? Sarah, Sabrina, and Devin. What the? Oh, that's because we missed the show.
Oh, yeah.
Those are the other girls. We're going to talk about that, too. Anyway, welcome, Isabel.
Hi.
Hi.
Back.
Yep, both of us
Right.
back. In case you guys are wondering what we're referring to, last week there is a missing show which we're going to make up. We're committed to doing that. But actually, LA traffic killed it. And I just couldn't even get here in decent time. And then the other show started, so we missed our spot. But we were going to make it up. In any case, we are here talking about Devin, and I have all my notes on my my little tablet here, which I'm happy about. That Isabel was complaining about iPads not streaming the show. I'll explain all the technical stuff to Isabel later. But so, what were you saying? Devin, who is our girl, her dad is hot.
He was.
I mean, I don't even remember seeing the dad. You saw the dad?
Yes.
Like when?
He dropped her off first day.
Oh, at school.
You thought that was her man? No, that's her
I
dad.
don't.
See?
Now I remember,
See?
but the dad was like, I wasn't looking at the dad saying, "Ooh, he's hot."
But you must have looked at him and said, "Oh, I can see why he's not with the mom."
Nope, didn't say that either. Didn't say. Matter of fact, I don't even remember his face at all. Really, like.
He's good looking.
Question:
Okay.
When you're pregnant, does your how so many things change, Isabel? Like, does your maybe this old man is not hot, but maybe you're just because you're pregnant, maybe you're like,
Right.
whoa.
He wasn't old.
Oh, okay. Oh, he's a young dad.
I mean, he looked young.
Yeah, dude.
But,
I mean,
but
I'm
you're
just
right. It could
no,
be,
you know
it could
what?
be
It's a
hormones.
good look. It's a good point, dude.
Sorry.
It could be hormones.
Because
So.
now all of a sudden, when you get pregnant and you got, then different stuff is attractive to her, right? Like if a dude got a working car, like, ooh, he's hot. It's not, it had to be a nice car, it just has to be dependable.
So all you guys
see what I'm
that tried to
saying?
hit on me before, hit on me now.
Yeah, you got a small window of opportunity. All her standards are lower
4 months left.
in the looks category. You just look stable and like you could pay for some stuff. You could buy a diaper. You're in.
So that's like tips for dudes. Like, you ain't getting no love. Go find you a pregnant
Find
one.
you a pregnant one.
Yeah, you got
Dumb
to.
Ed.
That's called playing to your strengths.
Ed,
See, that's
shut
what's
up.
called playing to your strength. But anyway, so Devin, and actually was funny because, each time we do a show, I'm wondering if Isabel's going to give me a hard time and say, oh, Ed, you think she's hot. You think she's hot. And actually a young guy who walked into the room I was watching the show in, he looked at the screen and Devin was on the screen. He said, ooh, she's hot. How old is she? And I was thinking, well, she's 16. She's pregnant. But if that's hot to you, go right ahead. And she has a man. But look, don't listen to me. No, but Devin is, and I got the idea that she was actually, I don't want to say more of a party girl than we even saw, but she was clearly a party girl. Like at one point, her friend said, "I don't even remember you ever missing a party. You were at all of them, right?" And she has lots of friends, So this is a girl who wasn't, an outcast. She was obviously popular, well-liked, fun, partied, you know, and it's clear that based on what we saw with her mom, that her mom was really permissive in some ways, you know, which we'll talk about. But
and to her knowledge, to Devon's knowledge, apparently very mature for her age.
Yeah, if you ask her herself.
Right.
Right, yes.
People say she's extremely mature for her age.
Yeah,
and I'm
people say
thinking,
that.
who, the other 14-year-olds
I
are
was
you
about to
hanging
say,
around?
who are you asking who says that you're mature? Be like, the other girls saying, wow, she parties really well, like she's old.
Yeah.
Like she's an old partier.
Like she can stay out to 3.
Yeah, oh
And
my
her
God.
boyfriend can spend the night.
She is so mature. Anyway, so the scene is this, Ronnie Jr. Media, and I'm gonna give you up front, I'm gonna give you the thing, like that one where the dude got hit by the car and the 16 pregnant. The thing about this one was that they had 8 people living in a little ass house. Okay. And this was impressive to see. Yo, they were making it work. Okay, 8 people in a little ass house. I mean, I don't know how many bedrooms this thing has, but do you remember I think the MTV intentionally took like outside shots of this house and showed it to
and
us
it looked...
several times because it looked like it could fit about 3 people.
Yes.
Okay, so very, very interesting that they had so many people in this little ass house.
May I ask what location? Like where are they
do
from?
you remember? Virginia?
Richmond.
Richmond, Virginia.
Okay.
Okay, little house, you know, and then one of those.
It had to have a few rooms because she did have her own room. And so did the sister, you know.
The other one that had the baby?
The other one with the baby, the other teenager with the baby.
Wait, how do they have their own rooms and there's like 8 people in the house?
That's
Or
why-
6
that's
people
why-
in one room?
That's
and then...
why I'm saying, like, it must have been a house with minimum 4 rooms.
That's the thing. We don't know.
We're never told.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't. You know, we see different parts of the house, but they don't go into all the details. But like I said, if we know MTV like we think we do, they said 8 people, and then they would go up out in the street and show you a shot of the house, and it looks like an outhouse. It looks like it holds like 2 or 3 people. But so here is, and the other reason why she thinks she's mature is because she dates a guy who's 4 years older than her.
Right, who's in the army.
Yeah. So that's why she's mature.
That was huge.
And actually, I don't. Maybe it sounds like we're hating on Devin. I don't really. Like for the most part, she did not have as many issues as these other girls.
Well, I mean, there's one big issue.
Which is
her mom.
Yeah. Okay. Now we can talk about that right now. So, Devin is dating Colin. She's in high school. She is obviously, I think, a junior in high school at this point, dating him and sneaking him in the house. Right. Right. Which I guess girls at that age do. Sneak him into the house.
What girls you've been hanging out with?
Okay. Well, I don't know. I just assumed that.
I always think about that. I always hear girls sneaking guys in, and I always think, how did they pull that off?
Well, how did she pull it off with 8 people in the little ass house?
That's why.
That's what I want to know.
They probably counted him as one of them. Like, oh, okay, that's just so.
Yeah. So you're right. So she had her own room before.
Right.
He moved.
Right.
So he's sneaking her, and then one day the mom comes in the room, opens the door, and the dude is sleeping in the bed.
Right.
And then their mom's reaction is, okay, well, you know what? You can just stay.
Yeah.
Because I don't want her to get pregnant. Now at this point, I'm completely lost. Okay, so what do you think about the mom? She got one daughter who's got a baby.
A teenage mom.
Right.
Single teenage mom already.
Yes.
My favorite scene with the mom was when they sit down and she says, it's a little embarrassing. And I'm thinking, are you embarrassed as a mother? Because, I mean, everybody's looking at you like, why are you even a mom?
Well, the thing is, I didn't... Look, when we heard that she let the kid move in, and I didn't understand, and part of the reason she said was because he wasn't getting along with his parents. Right. Which, I don't know. I mean, that's like a red flag by itself.
You're a 21-year-old guy.
Yeah.
Who can...
21, yeah.
Go, live elsewhere.
Yeah.
Who in the right mind says, oh, it's so awful that I'm going to allow you to move in and sleep in the same bed with my 16-year-old?
Yes, that's what I don't get. I'm like, what? What?
And then you say, once one of my daughters was pregnant, I thought it won't happen again.
Well, I don't understand how letting the boyfriend move in help prevent the pregnancy. That part I don't get. I think maybe she's operating on the idea like with drinking, right? Like you know, because I've heard lots of kids or parents say that, hey, you know, if the parent makes a big deal and says you can't do it at all,
They'll end up.
because it's something like that's taboo and forbidden, the kid wants it more or whatever. So I think maybe the mom has that style of parenting. Like, you know what? I'm not going to really say no to anything. I'm just going to say whatever you do, be smart about it, you know? And so apparently, according to what she told her friends, she got pregnant when she was switching from the pill to the NuvaRing.
To the NuvaRing.
How'd that happen?
Well,
You can't be on the pill when you're taking the NuvaRing? Is that it?
well, if you are on the pill and decide to switch to the NuvaRing, which is a total different type of birth control,
Right.
it tells you to give yourself minimum 30 days for your body to adjust, and that's minimum. You still have to do the 90 days like every other pill.
Got it. So even if you were to like take the pill and then start the ring,
Yes.
and then your body has to adjust,
Right.
and there's a period where you can get pregnant.
If you are not taking any birth control and you decide to take the NuvaRing, it is recommended to just, back it up with a condom for a week, because your body right away becomes familiar with
this is the type of inside information that we give
Yes.
on AfterBuzz TV. Did you hear Ronnie Jr. Me? Did you just hear her break down how birth control works?
Well, the NuvaRing I'm very familiar with.
This is like a PSA we got going right here.
So to me, it's kind of like you must have gone to a doctor who helped you switch to the NuvaRing and explained to you, you're switching from the pill to the NuvaRing. Give yourself 30 days for your body to get used to it. So please use condoms as a backup. And she just thought, whatever.
Yeah. She took a chance. And then she said that she didn't know she was pregnant for 5 months.
5 months.
Okay, wait a minute.
And never explains anything else. So I'm hoping we're going to get a background as
Okay,
to how did you find out?
Okay, well then, you know what? For our listeners, especially the young girls, the first thing that came to my mind was, okay,
Period.
yes, you didn't have a period for 5 months, but maybe the
Maybe
birth
she did.
control and the NuvaRing affect that.
Right.
And so,
Maybe she was just spotting.
okay, do we know if the NuvaRing, does it like take away the period?
No, it doesn't take away the period.
Okay.
It does not take
Does
away
birth
the
control
period.
take it away?
It doesn't take it away, but it
I mean, the
becomes
pill?
very minimal. I mean, it can
Okay.
be spotting, it can be very light. So she could still have that and thought, oh, I'm fine.
Okay.
And then when you don't even consider being pregnant, you don't even think about your period. It's not like you're thinking, oh, I didn't get it this month, unless you're worried about something. So in this case, she obviously wasn't worried at all.
And her friend just said, I just thought you were getting fat. And I thought, what? That's a friend for you right there. I'm like,
Say the truth, girls.
I wonder if she told her that before, because you told me that earlier. Oh my goodness. But yeah, they were standing around like, what do you, they were like totally shocked, because like, what are you going to do? You never missed a party. What are you going to do? She's like, I don't know. She's talking to her mom, and her mom is disappointed. That's when she said, I think that's when she said, it's kind of embarrassing.
It's a little embarrassing. And I'm thinking, girl,
Yeah.
you are getting what you asked for.
Yeah, it's.
And if anything, you need to, and if you have any younger daughters, and I think there's one more left.
No.
The girl with the dark hair is related to them. And that's one of the daughters.
I was a little bit confused about all
She's
the people
also-
that were talking
right.
to her. I was thinking, is that
No,
the friend
that
or the
one's
sister?
the sister. She has two sisters. She has the one with the baby.
She's the youngest, but there's an older sister.
Oh, maybe she was older.
Yeah, because I remember the mom said to Devin, well, you were spoiled because you're the baby.
Right.
So she was the
Well,
youngest.
I'm glad, whatever the case, I'm glad that the daughter's older, because if not, this mom needs to go back to parenting classes. Her method has not worked, and I cannot believe
Yeah, it didn't work
anybody
twice.
would think, oh, letting a boyfriend move in with the 17-year-old is okay.
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get
There's
it.
so many mean things.
And I mean, on top of that, so, like you don't have enough people in your house already. Oh, you know what? He already slept here. You already snuck him in. Just let him live. He can just stay.
He can take that corner in your
Oh, he had an argument with the parents. He lives here now.
right.
I'm like,
And we never get to see his parents. We don't get to find out about his family. The only thing we know about him is he is working 2 jobs. He's working
it's a
at the
warehouse job
and
and Army Reserve.
Army Reserve.
Right. Which, we honestly, we didn't really see anything bad from this guy.
No.
We didn't really see anything
No.
bad from this guy. And they, we'll talk about it, but they were experienced the full load of distress. I mean, I got to say, he seemed, I don't know, he was kind of a quiet, good baby daddy. but he definitely is one of the best baby daddies that we saw. But okay, so the mom says, you know what? She's like really mellow, really calm, and she's just like, you know what? I'll help in any way I can, but I'm not going to raise this child.
And she burst out into tears.
That's when we see Devin start crying, and the reality of it is starting to get heavier and heavier to her.
Well, I definitely think that reality came the minute she found out she was pregnant. I think this is one of the girls that we've come across that really, really did not want to be pregnant and disliked it the whole time. It's like anytime there was a camera with her alone, she was in tears. Like, I'm going to miss out on so much. Like, she knew right away. And maybe it was because she had a sister who was, you know, a single parent and a teenage mom. I don't know if it was that or she really understood what this meant. Because, you know, in the future, all these 16-year-olds talk about it's going to be hard, but they don't realize that they're a little excited about it. She was never excited about bringing the baby home.
Well, she said a couple of really good things, and that was like, she was just really glad that she wasn't going to be doing it alone. She was like, I'm really glad that I've got you, talking to her sister and my mom and stuff. And I think that's a big help. That's huge. When you know you have to buy stuff and you're not alone and you can have someone help you and all stuff.
Right.
And speaking of buying stuff, things that you need for a baby, I got applause for that transition right there. You guys may or may not know, if you've been listening to AfterBuzz, you know that AfterBuzz has a little partnership with Amazon. And that is a way to help fund the things that we've got going on here, because it's all volunteer. They're your hosts that you follow and tune into every week do not get paid. And AfterBuzz is, I don't know what you call it. It's like not a charity, but it's definitely something that we do because we love shows. We love talking about the TV shows, and we're fans just like you guys are. So what you can do to help support, and it can be something totally free for you, is when you buy things on Amazon, and I buy things on Amazon all the time, instead of just going to Amazon directly and making your purchase, you instead go make a quick stop at AfterBuzzTV.com. You, on the very first page, on the home page, you'll see an Amazon banner, a rectangular banner in the upper right portion of the screen. When you click on that banner, it'll take you to Amazon. You can proceed, sign in, make your purchases. I actually did it the other day. I had to purchase. I wasn't even purchasing something for me. I was purchasing something for somebody else. And I remembered to click on the banner to get, and then a portion of the proceeds that, you know, the money that's transacted goes to AfterBuzz. Doesn't make your purchase cost more. It's, like I said, no cost to you except for that little bit of time to go and click on that. So it would be very much appreciated if you do that. And also, what we also appreciate, and I actually appreciate any sort of comments, but good or bad, we have, you know, all our shows are on iTunes, all of our shows are on YouTube, and we look for fans to comment and rate us in both of those places. So if you guys can remember to do that, if you're a fan, if you watch a show, we'll go and we'll read them and we'll see them, and then, you know, maybe we'll respond and in open dialogue, and we'll give you our Twitter handles at the end of the show too. You can communicate with us directly like that. But you can help us through Amazon. You can help us with iTunes reviews and ratings. You can help us with YouTube reviews and ratings. That can be your job. That can be your participation in this whole AfterBuzz TV family that we have going. So much appreciated, and we'll move on with more of Devin. So she goes back to school, and she goes back to school and with a big old belly, and nobody knows. You know what? This one, when she was describing this, I was thinking, okay, that's tough. Because high school teenagers, correct me if I'm wrong, they're mean.
It's okay. Just wear a sign. My mom's a dumbass. And then,
I think you planned to say that one. Oh my God.
I am so upset at this mom, but I'm trying to just.
Okay, Isabel, I have a question for you. If you could tell the mom something, what would you tell her? Now that it's been done, now that it's done, you got one more daughter. What would you tell her right now?
Wait, what?
Like, she's got one more daughter.
Right.
Right? Like, you got advice for the mom?
Oh, I don't have nice advice. I mean, the only thing I wrote was when she said, you know, this is embarrassing. I was like, bitch, you moved him in. Embarrassing to be a mom and think like you. Like, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, okay. I figured it was going to be something like that.
There's no nice advice for this mom.
Oh,
you know, we're not dealing with, and what surprises me is, she says mom and dad are still good friends.
Yeah.
So at some point when the dad showed up and visit, he wasn't like,
yeah, at what point did the dad find out that the boyfriend moved in?
maybe once she was pregnant. Because I have a feeling it was kind of like dad was coming over and they were like, don't say anything. Let's keep it a secret,
Maybe they kept it from him. Maybe, I don't know. She said he stays when he's in town. So who knows what that means.
Right.
Maybe, because there's some dads that, okay, the mom is obviously very laid back. She's very permissive.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the dad is that way too. Who knows?
Right.
We don't know. We didn't hear. But he obviously, they love their kids. We see that.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, when we hear, we know that not both. Colin is really insisting on moving out.
Right. She goes to school. He goes on some kind of 5-day reserve trip to the Army. So, and then, he comes back, and he's actually coming back and he's frustrated because it's so crowded.
Yeah.
They've got a few baby things collected, and they're trying to, when he comes, remember he has to put his army bag in the closet. He has to move stuff out of the way to open the door. Then he has to put it on top of a bunch of stuff, and she says, "You're crushing all my stuff." And then he has to close the door and then put all the baby stuff back and stuck
in front of the door.
And you could see on his face the frustration. He's like, you know what? We need to go, and I want to move out. And he wants to move out, but at the same time, he didn't have, I don't think did he have the warehouse job then?
He did.
He did?
But, this is where she actually stood out. And I like what she said. She just kept saying, well, that's fine. We can move out, but we don't even have the money to do it. So,
it's like, okay, you want to move out? Can you afford it?
And he's still going off. I just want to make sure that I have. It's just like, okay, when we get there, we'll deal with it.
Yeah, exactly. But for right now,
now,
we don't have it. So,
Yeah, and she mentions, it's free. It's a free place to stay. We don't have to stress about that.
I loved it when she said that. She said, well, he's like, what do you want to do? She said, I want to stay here because it's free.
Yeah,
like
are you thinking?
Exactly. That's a really good reason. That's my price range.
Right.
Free 99. I'll take that. 9.90 free, however you want to say it. But so he's still on the whole house thing or wanting to move out. But what I was thinking was, he wants to move out. He wants to rent a place.
No.
This dude jumped straight to buying.
It's like, I'm buying a house.
And he's looking at a house ad that says $225,000. I'm like, what? At that point, I'm thinking, how in the world are they even considering buying a house?
And here we go again. Why were you not able to move out on your own?
Yeah, dude, you moved into a room with your girlfriend before she was pregnant.
Because, mom and dad didn't like you or...
Yeah, maybe he liked it because it was free.
Right.
Maybe he liked because lots of stuff is free in that house. I get to go in that house. I get to eat for free. I get to something else for free. I get to live for free. This is a free house.
Good.
I like this. They're free in this one. No, but so they go and they talk to mom and says, Mom, we want to talk to you, see what you think about this. And she's like, what? Well, he wants to buy a house. And she's like, well, if you buy a house, you have to be able to pay for it. And she's like, the daughter's like, I know. Mom said, like, so how are you gonna pay for it? She said, we don't know. But listen, then and I'm saying all this because that's what I was feeling at the time, and I'm thinking, you are crazy. I'm thinking to Colin, you're crazy, dude.
Yeah.
You're an Army Reserve 20-year-old warehouse worker. You can't buy a house. And then he's sitting there and he's saying, I've got to go figure it out and see what I can afford. I'm going to talk to the Army people. I'm going to talk to this. This dude goes and before we even get there, let's see. Hold on. Oh, yeah. First of all, the mom I thought was really cool talking, right? She didn't get excited about, do we ever see her get excited about anything?
No.
She never got mad, excited about, she's laid back. It's cool. You got to pay for it. But okay, well, good luck with that. And so then they throw a baby shower and give him more stuff, okay, for the room. And then I remember she was talking to her girlfriends, and they were like, "You're gonna have a natural birth," and she was like, "Hell no, I don't even like a paper cut," right? And then things are setting in for her now. For Colin, it's all about getting out of the house.
Right. He's set on that.
For her, she's struggling with the fact that she's missing on stuff. Then homecoming comes. Now, can you please tell me, because when I first saw the sister, she said, okay, put your dress on, come in the room. Because that was her sister, right?
Right.
Not her friend.
No, that's her friend.
Are you sure that wasn't?
She went over to a friend's house to help her get dressed.
Okay. And she was all depressed that she wasn't going to homecoming, blah, blah, blah. And she could have went. She just didn't want to go, have people stare, and, you know.
Nothing fits.
Right. She could have gone. But then her friend comes out in this dress.
Oh.
Now, I don't know anything about fashion.
Ed, we're talking about Richmond here.
Richmond, Virginia.
Oh,
okay,
I don't want to say anything. No, I didn't mean that.
Yeah, take it back.
But
There'll be an official recount printed in the AfterBuzz newsletter.
She does love her Richmond iTunes following. We love the Richmond iTuners, and to that I wanted to say thank you to the iTuners who continue to rate and comment the shows, and they take the information that we give and they don't get too angry. Richmond doesn't get too excited when we say stuff like that. But I also wanted to let you two know about GameFly.com, and if you want the 15-day free trial, super simple. The thing is, Ed, I'm sitting here and we get all these offers, so I just kind of want to spread this to our fans.
No, this is a good one because I actually need to get back on GameFly. So go ahead, I'm listening for details.
Well, it's super simple. I mean, like I'm saying, it's for the Wii, it's for Xbox, it's pretty much for anything that you're gonna play.
There's PC games on there too.
All kinds of stuff, 8,000 of them. I mean, Netflix, for the video game world is basically what GameFly is. But again, if you want the 15-day free trial, I'm telling you, GameFly.com/AfterBuzzTV, and that's how you get it. Really, there's nothing to it but to go on that website. But do the /AfterBuzzTV, that way you get hooked up.
Right. And I gotta actually say something. GameFly should be pissed off people calling it the Netflix of video game.
Why? Isn't that a great description?
You know no, it is a great description in the sense that it communicates what it is. But GameFly was there before Netflix, dude.
Oh, right.
GameFly had been the GameFly.
Oh, so the brand
GameFly is the OG of this whole style of doing stuff, and so they were before. But and I say that just to be funny, but in case people don't know, GameFly.com, GameFly.com, the way it works, or what you get, is you get to pay a small monthly fee, and then you get to basically, for lack of a better word, rent or borrow as many games as you can, get in the mail. And you can have different levels of subscription. You can have 1 game, 2 game, whatever, out at a time. And then when you send, you have your queue of games you want to play, and when you send one back, they send you the next one. So if you're familiar with Netflix, it works just like that. But it's also an opportunity for you to give back to AfterBuzz and do it free.
So we know 2 things about Ed, that he loves the video games and that he loves 16 and pregnant. All right, we're learning more about you, Ed.
Yes.
Ed Bowling.
Fan. So if they go, if they did you just say something about me like 16-year-olds?
That's what she said.
I am surprised that you were the one that focused on what this little girl was wearing to her dance.
Look, I didn't say anything about it being sexy or anything.
Ed, she is 16. I didn't mean to say she's in Richmond, Virginia. She is 16.
Okay. Well, but 16. Look,
you expected this bombshell woman with.
No, I didn't expect bombshell woman, but and I'm sorry to Devin's friend,
and
but
I thought a prom either.
But look, did you see the dress?
I did. She's 16.
And I actually was, I had a reaction to the dress in my mind, but that's why I came to ask you. I'm like, was that or was that not an ugly dress? And you know what? And it doesn't matter if she liked it. Then
you know what? I think it was her body shape. That you
oh
are very,
no!
Yes,
I wasn't looking at the body.
Yes.
Oh no!
Because if she had boobies, you'd be like, "Oh, that was hot."
No, I wouldn't have said nothing like that. I was looking at the dress, and that is the triple truth.
Views expressed herein are those of the host.
Of the host, only that host, not this one.
No, whatever.
I got my own opinion. But anyway, since I can't even comment on a 16-year-old dress, I got to move on to the next topic. No, don't try to fix it. You ruined it. No. You almost ruined it for all of Richmond, and now you at least ruined me.
You do that by yourself.
I'm going to sue for defamation of character, saying stuff. Anyway, so now Devin, poor Devin, it's just so rough for her at school. She decides, I'm not going to go back, which they don't say directly. She just all of a sudden she's working on her GED.
Right.
And I noticed, I guess that means no more high school. Because you don't do both.
No.
But I did feel bad because her first day of school was tough, and then she, I don't know how you fix that, because kids, I think, they are immature, and they're going to be in corners staring and whispering, and she probably, I don't even know like the type, like she was well liked, it seems like, and she had a lot of friends, but maybe she was a gossiper. Maybe that means, you know, that she knows what all the other people are saying and how mean they can be. And so, you know, the whole thing was just too much on her mentally. I really felt bad about that part for her, that experience for her for some reason. But, you know, Kyle is struggling because he wants to get a house. He's trying to figure out how to make more money. And
Okay, I'm sorry. His name was Colin, but
Colin,
she kept calling him Kyle.
Okay,
right?
so, well,
Right?
that's the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I keep saying
Do we
Kyle
agree?
because that's what I heard.
Yes.
And I'm keep having to correct
If it
myself.
wasn't because MTV,
They
but-
Thank you.
Yes.
It wasn't until 3/4 of the way through the show it
because
said
I
something about
crossed off Kyle on my notes after MTV.
I have Kyle all through here. I crossed it off at the top. I changed it from Kyle to Colin. And when they first opened the show, he said, my boyfriend Kyle. And I'm like,
Oh, Kyle, okay.
thought his name. But yeah, later it said Colin. When he was sleeping.
Maybe they switched him. You know,
I don't
sneaking
know.
in
It's a
another
different
boyfriend,
dude.
and we just
Maybe
don't
he
know.
was just playing the part of Kyle. Anyway, you know what? I feel good. We agree on something for once. There was confusion about the guy's name. We all thought it was Kyle the whole show, and she was trying to whisper and wake him up, and we got the subtitles that said Colin, and it was different name. And we were like, how did you switch baby daddies if we didn't even see? Does he have a twin brother? So
All those
anyway,
8 people.
yeah. So anyway, there's no. Oh, so that's when I was gonna say Kyle again. Colin is like talking to her about, look, how we're gonna make more money, and she doesn't want him to re-enlist because she doesn't want him to be, you know, she doesn't want to be an army wife. She doesn't want to have him gone all
Worrying
the
about him
time, and she doesn't
leaving.
want him to, you know, she doesn't want him to re-enlist. And I'm trying to see. Oh yeah. So, and then.
Well, not yet. We find out that they get approved for this house.
Oh, did I even?
No, you missed that whole part. He is so stuck on buying a house, he actually goes all the way to meet with the realtor and find out what he and her qualify for, and we find out that they are pre-approved for maybe not the $225,000
The $225,000 house he was looking at.
was
No, they
looking
were
at, but it
they
was
were
like
pre-approved for
180.
$125,000. I did write that down. I just
Right.
have it out of order for some reason. So they both want to move, so they start.
100,000 less, but you know you can work with that.
Yeah. Well, oh my God, I was gonna say in Richmond, and I said it
But
without
it's
saying
true.
it. But
No, it's true. It's
yeah,
true.
they found a house, 1,500 square feet. Now here's what I don't understand. They sat down at the table with the realtor and the two realtors, okay?
Right.
And they say, hey, good news, you're pre-approved for $125,000. This is great. We can go start house shopping. I'm
Don't
excited.
spend any money,
Yeah. Said, oh no, he told him, he said, don't change jobs.
and don't spend any
Don't
money.
spend any money. Okay. Just, you know, keep your job. Everything's cool. Got good credit. Got a job. We're going to make it work. Then the first house he takes him to, 1,500 square feet, which is small. No big deal. It's just them and the baby.
Right.
And he takes them all through it, and like, this is perfect. This is
is
great.
huge.
This is cool. I like it. This is exactly what we're looking for. And then she says, so how much is this one? He says, oh, you can't afford this one. It's 130. I'm like, dude, what kind of real estate agent are you? What are you doing?
Just that you
went-
should look. You should see
Yeah.
what you can have.
I just thought you should see what you can't have. I did not understand that at all. He said, you can't afford this.
Well, maybe he was
It's
like,
above your
maybe
price
he
range.
was like, okay, now you need to start working if you want to get this.
No, there is no way in the world. They're pre-approved for 125. He knows they, you know. Anyway, that to me was just horrible. It was just bad real estate
He's
person.
like, Colin, get a third job.
Okay, I don't even know why he showed it to him. So, but they said one of the things they said was, don't change jobs. And poor Colin.
It's like they jinxed him.
Poor Colin comes home, and you see it on his face. I knew it before he even said it. She said, how was your day at work? He said, not too good. I'm thinking, oh my God, he got laid off. Oh my God, he got laid off. Oh my God, he got fired. He lost his job.
Yeah.
And then he said it. I was just like, ugh.
I got laid off.
Because they were so happy when they said pre-approved, and they saw the house. They were so happy. They were like, yes, we can
And this
do
is
it.
where the kid in her comes out. You just see like this toddler.
Well, tell me what do you mean? Tell me what you mean.
I mean, her face. I forgot how old she was. It was
Yeah.
just like seeing this 4-year-old, 5-year-old. When you take a candy from them, you're like, you can't have that anymore.
Yeah.
She just went quiet. It was
Yeah.
like no emotion, just sad. It was so sad.
Well, and then what I saw, or I thought I saw, and I changed my mind after when I really thought about it. It seemed like she was like being supportive. right?
Yeah.
You know, it seemed, I forget what she said exactly.
No, I no, she was, because he says, I feel like I'm failing, and she says, no, you're not. You're trying. You're doing the best.
And he said this was my biggest fear when for his, you know, oh, the baby was already born at this point. We skipped that. But what she said was, which in the beginning I thought was supportive, but then I was like, you know, I didn't really like that. She said, well, nobody wants to lose their job, Colin. And I'm thinking, that's kind of messed up. He just said that I didn't want to lose my job. I feel bad. And she's like, well, of course you feel bad. Nobody wants to lose their job. I'm like, you know, in the beginning I thought she was all supportive, but then I didn't like it so much. But how cute was it that he leans into his son and he says, I'm sorry, to his son.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when I realized, okay, this dude is you know, a young man, but a man, you know, who's taking his responsibility very seriously. And I could just see it on his face, you know, his like, whatever it was he was feeling, you could just see it. It was strong. And you know, he was feeling really bad. But to go back to the part we skipped, another funny thing that happened that she said was when she woke up in the middle of the night, you know, with the contractions. And then that's when he was asking stupid questions. He's like, does it hurt? He kept saying that. Like, she's in the bed screaming, and he's like, did it hurt?
Yeah, I mean, the second time I wanted to reply for her and be like, what do you think?
Exactly. So you saw that too. He was like, does it hurt? I'm like, dude, what are you asking? Is it because you think maybe she's going to say no this time? Like, no, actually, it feels great right now. But no, she said the funny line, one of the funniest ones. I think he asked another stupid question, him or the mom, and they're getting in the car to go to the hospital, and says something like, so are you ready? And she says, I quote it exactly, she says, ready as I'll ever be to push a baby out of my crotch. I thought, you know what? That basically means, no, I'm not ready, and I'll never be ready. So I'm as ready as I'm gonna be, you know, might as well. Gonna happen anyway. I just gotta go push a baby out. And then, you know, this one, I didn't want to laugh, but it was kind of funny. Like, it starts out, and they're all smiling, and they're joking in the beginning of the labor. It's like a couple hours in labor. And he says, what did he say? Do you remember what he said? He said something funny. I forgot. He said something funny, and she laughed.
He said there's I can see you're about 2 sheets away until you hit a
contraction. He said something all official based on my calculations of the paper. You're 2 sheets away from the current. And she's like, ha, ha, ha. They're laughing. An idiot. Right. And that was like 2 hours in, right? And then
9 hours.
Then you get to like 6 hours, and she's like shaking. You know, she's not crying yet, but she's shaking. And, you know, he's like, does it hurt? And she's like, you know, she's shaking, dude. And then 9 hours in, now she's crying, and she decides, okay, give me the drugs, you know. So she gets the epidural, and then finally 12 hours into labor.
She's pushing.
I mean, is that a long labor? I don't even remember anymore. 12 hours?
Boy, an hour is an hour.
Okay, never mind. That was a dumb question. Did it hurt? You know? No, that's dumb. No, so 12 hours into labor, it's time to push. And then this lily white baby comes out. I mean, this baby had no pigmentation at all. Looked like the dad, only lighter. Okay, and I was thinking, man, you're going to have to sunblock that baby from the lights in the hospital. Yeah. That baby was fair skin. And came out looking like, well, all babies sort of look like old men, but it looked like an old man to me. And it looked like,
like somebody punched him. He was so red in his face. I was like, what happened?
Yeah, the fair skin and the whole redness and
I was like, who hit him?
Yeah, he had this like what's that Shar-Pei, like the dog with the wrinkled skin, the rolls of skin, you know. And then later, you know, he fattened up and he's looking all healthy. But you know, 2 days in the hospital, and then they go home. And then, man, it starts. The sleepless nights, you know, for her in this case, because he was able to apparently sleep through her calling his name and everything else. But
Kyle. Maybe that's why he never replied.
Because he was calling the wrong name.
Kyle.
He was like, look, woman, I'm sick of you calling me somebody else's name. I don't know who Kyle is. But I'm just not going to answer you until you get my name right. No, but... you know, sleepless nights are setting in, and then they did say, I noticed something important to me, because the one thing that nobody really explained to me about when I had a baby, was the fact that you lose sleep. and the way it makes you feel, the way your body, is affected by the lack of sleep, it's really kind of crazy. I mean, you go through your days, sort of in a daze. It's just totally different. And sleep was one of the main things. But the worst part of, and this I guess is something that I'll, for any new moms or people, the worst experience I had with a baby, the toughest thing was when the baby had gas. And the reason why is because in my experience, my two sons, when they had gas from whatever they ate or whatever it was extremely painful for them.
Right.
And you cannot always get the gas out right away. And so you have to be there with a baby that's in pain and you can't fix it.
Right.
And they will scream and they will shake because it hurts them and they can't tell you. So it's actually something that you still don't even really know if that's what it is. But then sometimes they'll release it and then it'll be like, okay, the baby's okay. Or maybe they'll burp or other way. But, and I'm only saying this because there was a moment where he was crying and then she was like, do you have gas? And then he farted in her face and she was like, and then the baby was like, ah. And it's just, that is serious stuff. And so, you gotta, like, for anybody who's gonna have a baby, you actually have to pay really close attention to what you feed the baby. You need to have the little gas X. There's droplets you can buy, get the doctor to tell you it's okay. But there's little stuff you can do to put in the baby's milk or in their mouth, little droplets to take, because you're taking pain away from your child when you do this. It's a big deal. It is a big deal for them. You don't even, if you can avoid it forever, avoid it. But it's getting difficult for them. Or, mostly for her. It's difficult for him because, he's got the weight on his shoulders of, see, at this point, okay, this is before he got laid off. So he was taking more shifts at the warehouse and he was working more and he's still in the Army Reserve. He's doing anything he can. And that means he's not there with her as much. She's got more time with the baby. She's getting cabin fever. Okay, she's like, it's cramped, it's crowded. And now, it's starting to affect her. Now she's like, look, we got to get out of here. Remember, she complained like 3 times about having to clean up after other people. Right. So that just means that she wanted to go, get a clean dish. And there wasn't one, she had to clean it because other people had dirtied them and they didn't do the dishes yet. And which, by the way, 8 people, that's a lot of dishes.
And you did see the note on the refrigerator, please help keep the kitchen clean.
Who wrote it? Did she write it?
I don't know who wrote it. It was just on the refrigerator to remind all 8 of them, can somebody help? Yeah, because and you know what? There's kids in the house. How many bathrooms did they have? 8 people. I think they had like 2 because Colin was knocking on the bathroom door asking like, how long are you going to be there? Who knows who was in there? And then they're like, it's going to be a while. He's like, okay, I'll just try downstairs. Yeah, I'll try the one other bathroom. Let me see. You know what? For all my complaining about them having 8 people, it seemed like they make it work. Right. I don't mind being around a lot of people in a house. I don't mind that. Oh, I like a house with a lot of people, a lot of life and love and happiness and all this stuff. But I also don't like waiting for the bathroom when I go to the bathroom. I don't know. That's what you worry about. Yeah, it was free. So anyway, so we can get back to where we're in the order. His biggest fear. Yeah, he gets laid off. Biggest fear. She's a little bit supportive, sort of. He says sorry to his son. And then 2 weeks at least, he's hunting for jobs. Okay, he's got no job. And he's just frustrated. Now, remember they showed him sitting on the couch with his laptop. He's been looking for, and the baby was there. But she wasn't there. What was she doing? Probably working on her GED. Don't forget, she's still taking those classes at the time. And she says it's getting harder. The sister's helping a little. The mom's helping a little. But she's like, I still don't have enough time. Yeah. Well, so, 2 weeks goes by. He's looking for a job. And what I thought was funny, or I didn't realize, that they didn't tell the real estate agent. Because I would have been like, okay, you got to tell him first. Right away. Call him. Because you lost your job. And that's one of the 2 things that he said don't do. I was just like, why would you go meet him? Yeah, now you're going to meet him. What are you meeting him for? Like, anyway, so are you guys ready to sign the paper? Yeah, are you ready to, make an offer?
And they look at each other, smile like, well, and she said, and he just can't say it.
Yeah.
You know, and I get the feeling that he's a little bit prideful and whatnot.
Oh,
but,
extremely.
Yes. But what we're going to do is we're going to break down what happened after that, right after we go to commercial, because there's a couple more things to talk about. And Ronnie Jr. Media, you can take us to commercial now.
Hey guys, what's happening? We are the America's Best Dance Crew ABDC After Show, coming to you guys. We watch the show every week just like you, and we go every Friday to the set to interview and talk to the crews behind the scenes and let you know what is happening behind the scenes.
Hey everybody, we are AfterBuzz Mob Wives Edition, the only Mob Wives after show out there. I'm your host, Adrienne Vera, with my lovely co-hosts,
Kevin Undergaro,
Grant Rudder,
Cameron Marston.
You guys can check us out every week. We have a lot of fun. We drink wine. We talk about the show. So check us out. We're also doing the Big Ann Show. So tune into that and Mob Wives Chicago.
Hey guys, what's happening? We are the Game of Thrones AfterBuzz crew. I'm Dave Klein.
Bethany Jaber. Kristen Elizabeth Snyder.
Simone Boyce.
And we come to you every single week live Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Pacific time, for we are kings of the Game of Thrones after show. And we have one thing to say. Oh, Shadow Baby. Oh, Shadow Baby. Oh, Shadow Baby.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
Okay, and we're back. So before we go into, oh man, I don't think we have any real good news and gossip this time. Are we allowed to announce what we expect in June? Are we allowed to? Maybe that'll be. You know what? We'll call it gossip. We'll call it gossip, but then we can say whatever we want, and then later we'll blame it on Ronnie Jr. Media and say he told us it was okay.
Right.
Nope,
like
nope,
that.
not
Yeah,
me.
you hear that? He just said yes.
No, I said no.
He said yep,
That-
yep,
That sounds
yep,
like
yep.
no. Doesn't sound like yes.
Oh yeah, I heard him say yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So here's what I thought was interesting. So they go to meet with the real estate guy, right? And then he's like, "You ready to make an offer on the house?" And I said, "Actually, he lost his job." And then he's like, "Well, if you don't have a job, can't buy a house." And I'm like, "It makes sense. You know, that's cool and everything." And he said, and so then they start talking more hopeful, right? And he said, "But I am looking for a job." And and then Kyle Colin looks at him. He goes, "So I need to have a job for 2 months before I can buy a house, right?" And the guy's like, "Yep, 2 months." And I'm going, Richmond, Virginia is the place to be.
Oh, okay.
Ronnie Jr. Media, do you want to buy a house one day?
Yeah. I mean, I need to make a little more money, but
no,
yeah.
you don't. No, you don't.
No,
In as little,
I have to move to Richmond.
in as little as 2 months, you can have a house of your own
In Richmond, though.
in Richmond,
I
Virginia.
mean, I love-
Ronnie, what do you have against Richmond?
I love the Richmond iTuners.
Yeah, it's not Isabel, it's Ronnie Jr. Media telling us to say gossip and hating on Richmond. It's crazy what happens in the booth over there.
And remember, I'm not wearing any pants, so there's that issue too.
Okay, that was a little too much information. But so anyway, so he's like looking for a job that he can have for at least 2 months, that we can buy the house real quick before he gets laid off again, and then it's really hard to get you out of the house. No, I'm just playing. But he's wondering, thinking about going to fire school.
Right.
He says, he tells her, and this is a little bit of tension, right?
Yes,
When it's like a fight almost.
But I was okay with this.
It was okay.
They needed it.
This is nothing.
It's like,
They did,
girl, you gotta let it out.
Yeah, you got to do it.
Let it
So
out.
he's like, well, I was thinking about going to, be a fireman. I have to go to school for that first.
Yeah.
And she said, can you buy a house when you're going to school? He said, nope. She said, then I don't want you to go to school.
It was very like,
Right, you
I'm
remember?
not saying no to you.
She
I'm
said,
just
then I'd rather you get a
asking
job.
you,
And he said, well, I could go to school and have a job, and then we could buy the house. She said, but then you won't be here.
You won't be here.
And I need you here.
Yeah.
So no school, get a job. And and then he said the first negative thing I guess we've heard from him. He's like, or maybe he said this before on the porch. I meant to say it earlier. Then he goes something like, "Yeah, well, I'm older than you, and I don't really have the need to stay at home with mommy anymore." I think he said that earlier when they were talking about moving out, and he was, it was big for him. But now she's all on board with moving, and she's like, "No, I don't even want you to do a better career if it means we can't have our house right now. We got to get out of here." Okay. And then
and we also hear him finally say something like, I'm not pushing you
yeah.
to make up your mind about whatever you want to do. So but it's frustrations. Like he's like, dude, I am doing everything I can right now, and here you are like, get a job and let's go.
Oh my goodness, so rough. They have such adult thing. Okay, but let's move into news and gossip. Let's go into news and gossip.
What's your
I'm gonna say it because Ronnie Jr. said I can't.
There is one thing we can say, which we probably said every other week.
What's
but
up?
this week, Amber, our old 16 and pregnant, and then teen mom from our original set, is out of jail this week. So let's wait next week if she goes back. She's been going in and out. But go Amber, she's out for this week. For today.
Amber. Wow.
Yeah.
Amber, Janelle. Wow.
Oh, and Janelle got breast implants.
Yes, we mentioned that on the day she got them, and there were pictures.
Naked pictures.
Yeah, but they were grayed out or whatever, blurred out. But
Oh, that's because you didn't click on the other thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you could have clicked on.
Yeah, because I'm not what you say I am. That's why I'm not clicking through.
She's over 18 now, Ed.
What doesn't? Never mind. I knew her when she was 16, so it killed it. But anyway, so her boyfriend leaked the pictures. I guess they're not. Remember, he did the thing where,
okay.
yeah, that was actually kind of news and gossip. Was it TMZ or was it Starcasm?
Yes,
TMZ reported. It actually showed Kiefer had written this poem for Janelle, and then he took a picture of it all ripped up, which I thought was childish, but meaningful for him. And so, anyway, with the other news and gossip is that coming up here, one of our favorite 16 and pregnant / teen mom girls, Farrah, is going to be in town actually, and so we are in the process of trying to secure an appearance here on AfterBuzz TV with Farrah. And so this is not an announcement; it is gossip that Ronnie Jr. Media approved of.
Hello, Ed Bowling.
And that sounds like somebody other than Ronnie Jr. Media.
Well, based on your request, Ed, yes, we have a teen mom coming in, and it is Farrah, and I believe I did get final confirmation for that date. So we are on, Ed, baby. We are on.
And that's June 7th?
8th.
6, baby, 6.
6. Not 7, not 8. It's the 6th, June 6th. Tune in. If I remember right, 7 o'clock. And we're going to have Farrah in studio.
I can hardly wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah, get your questions ready.
Ed.
Get your questions ready. It's going to be a nice conversation. We'll be happy to hear
enticing
how
wonderful
things are going
Splendid.
for Farrah. And that's going to be really honestly one of the difficult things that we deal with is that everything we see on the shows is like old. It already happened. Right. And then when we get news and gossip or whatever, it's like that's really exciting stuff because that's what's happening now.
Right.
And now we get to hear the real thing from the real person right now. So it's going to
I know.
be
I wonder if she's going to talk about her porn new adventures that she's kind of involved in.
She didn't have any porn adventures.
I just made stuff up. Yeah.
You're going to get us in trouble.
No,
bad.
did you see Ed's face? He's like, what? Where?
I know.
No,
see,
I
Ed
didn't
liked
say
it.
where.
Ed was about it.
I had Farrah's back. Farrah, when you come on the show, I had your back.
We
They
do
tried
too,
to say
in theory.
some porn
How about
stuff, and
how
I
about
said,
predictions?
no
We
way,
good?
not
Predictions,
Farrah.
predictions.
Let's predict
Okay,
away.
Predictions.
Oh my God, I do not want to hear Isabel's predictions. It is going to be way off and out there based on something completely. Okay, so in the previews for the upcoming episode, because I am the host, so I'm keeping it on topic. We get to see a baby mama that, unfortunately, bad news. Somehow the baby daddy is.
I love how the
dies.
drinking game is whenever he says baby mama, baby daddy. I love that. Anyways, back to you.
And my predictions, Ed.
Oh my God, what's your prediction? Can't wait to hear this.
I was gonna say something nice. I was gonna say you asked Farrah out, and she says no.
I am not available to ask Farrah out.
Okay,
by the way,
say bye to people.
you're gonna get it. You can be in trouble. Anyway, we want to say thank you. I'll say thank you. I don't know what Isabel is gonna say. Maybe thank you. She's so rude. Rude? How you say it? Rude? Is that?
How do you say rude?
Rude?
Rude.
No. There's a lady.
16-year-old rude.
Oh gosh.
Anyway,
we should probably end the show right now.
My listeners know what I'm talking about. Yes, I hear the music. Are we ending it?
Yeah.
Isn't
We
this the
are.
end?
We're trying.
We're wrapping it up.
Just turn off his
This
mic.
is a wrap. Thank you for listening, as always.
Thank
iTunes, Amazon.
On the
by way
real,
of
we like
AfterBuzz
Ed.
TV.
Ed, you do a great recap for 16 and Pregnant. We really appreciate it.
Oh well, thank you
We
very
do.
much. Thank you very much. That's not going to save you from the wrath, but that's okay. Thank you very much. Anyway, thank you to everybody. See you next week.
Bye-bye.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz
you later.
It's the best.
The views expressed herein are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.